Welcome everyone to Sportsfellas.
It's your Buckeye believing, who they hopeful, Captain Chris with a K.
Hey, representing Raider Nation and Jayhawk Hopkins win, your boy Big Don.
And repping for the DMV for the burgundy and gold. And always staying true to Tar Heel Blues because we just whooped them Dookies. Mr. Brett.
And this is your host, Carlos. You guys, we're finally here. We're going to talk a little bit about Super Bowl. And so, you guys, this is it. The Seattle Seahawks against the New England Patriots. If you guys have any questions, if you have concerns, if you want to ask a particular question, please feel free and chime in. Well, you guys, we're here. This is it. Live. Oh, and also, how can we be rude here? We have
Nick, the new guy, Sweet Lou, or you can call me Nick, Slick Nick.
Oh, Slick Nick. I like that. I like it.
Slick Nick.
Well, here we are. So, you guys, tomorrow we have Super Bowl 60. So, we got the Seattle Seahawks, the champions of the NFC, going against the champions of the AFC, the New England Patriots. What a great ride. This is a second meeting between them both. The last Super Bowl was very memorable. Malcolm Butler with that last-second interception that costed them the game. The Seahawks and Seattle hasn't gone to a Super Bowl since, and now they're back. So let's talk a little bit about both teams. Let's kick off with the AFC champions, the New England Patriots. We know already that this is their 12th appearance. I mean, they've got a great history going in. We got Drake May in his second year representing a young team. I mean, you got to think about it. This is a rejuvenated young team going in, coached by first year there, Mike Vrabel, which has history there with New England, winning 3 Super Bowls there. And so let's kick it off with you, Chris, first. Tell me a little about New England and, again, what they did to get to this point.
Well, just kind of, I mean, like we were saying in our previous show, or like I was saying, it really started, for me, it really started in the playoffs with their defense really holding strong. Drake May had a great regular season. He's a possible MVP candidate. I don't think that's been released just yet. Should be coming soon to find out who gets that. But yeah, I think for me, it really came in defensively. Obviously, they put some points up. Drake May's a possible MVP candidate, but he had a couple rough games. I think Vrabel's defensive mind and stuff has really led to the strength. And also finally getting a number one receiver, which they haven't had for the last 5 to 7 years. And Stephon Diggs has really played a point. Trayvon Henderson has come in and is just crushing it from where? The Ohio State. Vrabel likes him strong. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good game with those strengths meeting up with, as we'll talk about, some Seattle strengths of a similar nature. Nick?
You know, I just like to watch good games, and whether who wins, who loses, I'm excited about just seeing a competition and seeing some people step up. You know, I think the contrasting offenses philosophies are going to be a big thing. You know, having 2 different mindsets, having very different coaching styles. It's going to be exciting. Who has the ball last, I think, might be the winner. You know, if everyone plays to their potential.
It is pretty interesting how the Patriots have gotten to this point. You know, the way they started out the season, I would not have thought, and along with a lot of people here in America, thought they would have made it to the Super Bowl, let alone make it to the AFC Championship game. But that defense came on mid to late in the season, and Drake May, you know, with the core that he has, they just started making a good run for it. And then through the playoffs, even though he did struggle quite a bit, that defense kept them in there close in the games. And I feel that, I hate to say it like this, that they had like an easy path to get to, through the regular schedule and the playoffs. It's like he ended up, their teams played some quarterbacks that played subpar. But, not to take nothing away from the New England defense. The New England defense took care of business. And that was what kept them in a lot of those games, for the win to get to the Super Bowl now. So right now I feel with both teams, both good defenses, I feel that it should, based on being in the Super Bowl, it should be a good game.
Yeah, folks, all of us who was praying and hoping, wishing away the Chiefs would go away. and now look where we at now.
Back to the Patriots.
Oh.
Yeah.
We got Chief fans listening. I don't want to say, hey,
Oh.
we're finally live and they're talking bad about the Chiefs. Oh,
I mean,
We've been holding it.
sorry, Chiefs fans. I jest a little bit.
You heard me.
But,
You heard me.
oh yeah, we have our guest here that's a Chiefs fan.
Oops.
Oh,
Please don't hurt me. But on the real though, you can see the change. And when the Patriots started out, when Mike Vrabel got there, it just seemed like he's the players' coach. He's you saw it through preseason. Where are they going to get to here? It was like we don't know. I mean, but you kind of felt that a change had came. With Belichick being gone and everything, and them trying to implement who would be the better fit, and Vrabel just coming from Tennessee, things in kind of rough there, when push came to shove. But these guys have definitely proved that they for real. And then Drake May finally playing to the potential that I feel that he should have in his rookie year.
well, look at it like this. So New England have been dominant throughout the 2000s.
Yeah.
Dynasty, no
Mhm.
questions asked.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
for them to go away after what they got Mac Jones, then Tom Brady leaving, and then Bill Belichick going to North Carolina, we thought, okay, New England, they're done and washed up.
Mhm.
But look at the culture, and now this is how this has happened. We now know it's the Patriots way.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the Patriot fans that are listening. The thing is that Mike Vrabel was a great choice. Great pick. Jared Mayo tried, but I just don't think he meshed well. But during the offseason, picking up Stephon Diggs.
Right.
Then you've got a good receiver in Collins, and you got a great tight end. Double wide receivers in Collins as well. And just Drake May. What a great job this year. And of course, when you've got Josh McDaniels as your offensive coordinator in the helm, he's been there and done that. And now to get him ready to go, you got rid of Buffalo. You guys did break a game apiece, but you took care of somebody that was dominant for a while. Now they're gone. And now you're here. You are representing the AFC. You went through 3 great defensive teams in the Chargers and the Texans and the Broncos, and you played in great element. You kept it kind of low, but you got there. But let's talk a little about the pros and the cons. So I'm going to start off with the pros, and I'll start this off with you, Nick. Tell me, New England for tomorrow, what are key things that you see that they're going to need to do for them to win tomorrow?
They're going to have a sharp game. The penalties, the little things, the turnovers, all the things that make a winning team. The defense, but if you can turn the ball over, if you keep from turning the ball over, whoever turns the ball over least, I think is probably going to have the best chance, obviously, to win the game. You go down and turn the ball over, it doesn't matter if you are really good at offense or really good at defense. If you can't hold on to the ball long enough to score, it doesn't matter because you're only going to be shooting yourself in the foot. The Patriots having building a new chapter because they got veterans, they've got young guys. They're trying to make history with their 7th title. They've got a good chance, but Seattle's really got the gumption up inside of them to make this a hard game and crush them if they really so choose. So it could go, all over the place, and I think it'll be an exciting game to watch.
I think one thing they've got to do is really pick their points where I know Drake May is an MVP candidate, but I don't think they need to put it all on his shoulders. They've got a really stout running game, two-headed with Stevenson and Henderson. And I think they need to utilize that more so even than they did in the last game. Both those guys are great, just big home run hits. And I think that even a mediocre game from Diggs is going to go a long way to opening up some lanes for those two guys. And I think vice versa. I think if they can hit a couple of decent runs, that's really going to open up things for not only Diggs, but also Henry across the middle. And I think Hunter Henry and McDaniels is kind of pretty. He knows how to use a tight end. That's Gronk, and he who should not be named, that was his running mate for a little bit. But Hunter Henry, I think, is going to fill that safety net, and I think he's going to have a big game. I could see him having 100 yards, and if he does that, if he or Diggs have 100 yards, and you throw a combination of 100 yards between the running backs, I think that's going to get it done for him.
Yeah, I feel the key is right now that the Patriots offensive line. You got to protect Drake May because he has been sacked on an average of 5 times each of these games in the postseason. And right now, that's Seattle defensive front right now. They get after the quarterbacks because their D-line has faced some top-notch offenses going through the NFC. So you know good and well when they face that Patriots offensive line, they're going to give them business. So they're going to have to figure out a way to protect Drake May, limit the sacks, because if he's constantly pressured there the entire game, most likely they're not going to win this game because it's all coming down to that offensive line protecting Drake May.
Yeah, I say the pro for New England is Drake May's ability he's been able to capitalize off the mistakes of other teams. When his defense steps up, and when I go off of what you say, Don, when they're able to protect him well, he can have a great game. And that was some of the things I saw when they played the Texans. C.J. Stroud was making mistakes that he should have been making. I mean, with Pittsburgh, he got away with it, but Drake May went out there and made him pay. And so that's the thing. If he has the ability to capitalize on the mistakes, and we've been seeing that throughout the year. When the line holds up and the defense does his job, and he can go out there and do his job.
Well, gathering together everything, guys, what I've watched New England go into this playoffs, they play great defenses. And then, like I said, when it was the Texans, he was still getting sacked.
Yeah,
I mean, that was one thing that Seattle we'll talk about here in a second. And so they were dealing with, especially with edge rushers, they were able to kind of control them. But we saw that also as well is that Drake May was just making things happen. And especially when Collins came out of IR and was able to start, I mean, Denver, they had no answer for him. And so with the Drake May being young going in, he's got the great leadership to help him out going forward. Mike Vrabel will probably have him focused on the defensive side. And then Josh McDaniels is just going to gear them up offensively going forward. So they're going to have to definitely run the ball. And you've got dual running backs that can take care of that. So let's talk a little bit about the cons. So I'm going to start this off with you. What are the things that you can see could be a problem for New England?
I think, and bouncing off with what has already been said, if they cannot protect the line, they're going to be tough to beat Seattle, and that's one thing. But back to my the cons is if you can't score off of the turnovers, like what was happening in previous games, you can turn the ball over and over again and still win the game because the other teams aren't successful. But at this time, these are all going to be washed out there. I think people are going to be capitalizing on their opportunities, so you can't give them a chance. They're going to know it's their opportunity. It's their time to shine. They're going to be playing their top game, and those little mistakes are going to cost you.
I kind of what everyone else is saying for the protection on the defensive side. I think that could be one of their cons is not keeping up with Jackson Smith on the outside. If he gets rolling, also if Gainwell, missing the name there, was it Gainwell Walker? Walker, yeah, Walker. That Gainwell was there. If Walker starts getting out there, I think defensively they've got to crank it up another notch. They played some pretty strong defense. I think that's going to be Vrabel's big message to their defense is like, we got to crank it up another notch. They didn't get a lot. I mean, they didn't defensively. They played well against Denver, but they didn't get pressed that hard when it comes down to it. Stidham, sorry, man, you know that was almost a bye week for that defense. They were in kind of so see how they can come up against a really, one of the top scoring offenses. They haven't really had to play. If Bo Nix had been in, then they would have had to have a real offensive challenge. The Texans haven't had a great offense all year, and they were all banged up on offense when they played. They haven't played a hard offensive team really this whole postseason, and I think that one of their cons is going to be on that side if the defense can hold up against what's kind of proven to be a strong offensive force in Seattle.
Yeah, just to go off of what Chris was saying, I do feel that, leading up to this game, they have yet to face an offense that can really move the ball well as Seattle does. They can both run and pass. And right now, and like you said, with Stidham, he wasn't a quarterback that could, help him run an offense to be successful. Because if Bo Nix had been there, I think we'd be looking at Denver, Seattle in the Super Bowl. Because the Patriots didn't make a lot of mistakes in that Denver game. And the key moments were the fact that Stidham just wasn't that guy. Because all they were a couple plays away, and this is another two teams in the Super Bowl. So right now, New England, that's their struggle right now is they have yet to face an offense and that can move the ball very well. And offensively, like I said, go back to the offensive line. If they've given up 5 sacks, and this is a defense that's just as good as well as Denver's, and they can control the tempo of the game with the line of scrimmage. So right now, and Seattle offensively can control the line of scrimmage, which is going to be a problem for New England. And I feel that, it's going to be because of that could be their downfall.
Yeah, I'm feeling that the con and them, and it's on both sides. On defensive wise, who they going to have that's going to be the competition for Jackson Smith and Jigba, and who's in the competition they're going to have? Cooper Kupp still got it. Cooper Kupp ain't no slouch. Yeah, he old, but he still got.
You got him. Good job, Brad.
He got them hands, man. Who's gonna be the competition for them? And I saw that secondary and them DBs are gonna be in a fight. And also, like I said, that Seattle defense is mean. That Seattle defense hurts people. And you see a couple of games, especially when they played my team Washington. Everybody got injured in that game. They crippled everybody in that game. It seemed like
unemployment was at sky high in Washington. It was sky high. Yeah. Well, let's look at it like this. New England, the biggest key caveat here is that it's the offensive line. Back to what Don was saying, 5 sacks each playoff game. It was, and especially during the Denver game, he was getting hurt. Little here, little there, and just getting hurt. And this is where we're going to talk about Seattle in a second. This is where they have to defend Drake May. If they get to him, nothing's going to be out. Stephon Diggs is going to be the prime target they're going to try to cover. They're going to box up. The front 4 are going to make sure that they can keep Drake May and keep him in the box, make sure he's not doing nothing else. And then, Hunter Henry, keep him locked in as well. And then defensively, Sam Darnold, especially against the Rams, he had some great throws under pressure. And this is a quarterback, I don't know if you guys are new, he's already been to a Super Bowl, even though he didn't play, but he's already been there. He's seen it. So it's kind of like, okay, well, I know it, but now you're the starter. So for him to and we'll talk about him in just a second, to get that chip off his shoulder to say, hey, you guys counted me out. I was the laughing stock, and now we're going to give you your praise here in a second. So let's move on over to the NFC champions, the Seattle Seahawks. This is their second Super Bowl appearance. And no, not second. This is their third. They've won one Super Bowl. They've lost 2. We all know already they lost to the New England Patriots in that famous play. Everyone in the nation, everybody knows they should have ran the ball. They should have just gave the ball to the beast mode. But for some reason, and I don't know what you guys feel, but I feel personally this was a Pete Carroll. I wanted to stick it to you, Bill Belichick, and let's get away with it. And then Bill Belichick had the last laugh. And so when they interviewed Malcolm Butler, he did say on that, he said that it was a play that was set up, not particularly him. He just If he would have rushed in, none of this would have happened. But you see his instincts and intuition said, hey, no, I need to stay over here. So that was a great interview. But let's talk about Seattle. So, Nick, tell me a little bit about Seattle, how they got there. So we know already they were the number 1 seed. They were not this year. When we talked about them, we didn't think Seattle was going to be here.
Preseason, I was dogging them.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be the Rams.
Laughing Sam Darnold out.
Yeah, I just would come back, send an email to Sportsfellas. Hey, I need to speak to Chris. That guy, Chris. But Nick, I'm going to ask you. So with Seattle going in there, let's talk about Seattle itself. What got Seattle here to the Super Bowl?
I think one of the option paths that they had to really stretch and play the defenses and make them play on their heels was Jackson Smith and Jingbia. There you go. JSN's connections, he really threw out a lot of different looks to the defenses, and his ability to catch and move after the catch and really gain some extra yards is one big reason why they were able to make those big plays happen and really turn the field around on some of those games throughout this season.
Yeah, they've just been crushing. I feel like on both sides of the ball, even their losses this year, they had 3, I think, were not like they didn't get blown out. They were close. There were a couple division rival losses that were a field goal-ish away. A loss to the Buccaneers early on or kind of mid-season, again by the last second field goal by the Bucs to win it. So yeah, Mike McDonald is obviously a really, really good coach. Kubiak we know is already
Coming to the Raiders.
I'm hoping for the Seahawks, that he's still focused on them for this week.
Oh, he will be.
But he got a promotion to head coach now, so I guess he's probably Gary Kubiak's son, right?
I believe so.
And
So,
Clint
Kubiak.
Yeah.
So that coaching staff is just doing crazy. I don't even know Dirty, the Aiden Dirty, I don't know if you say the last E, the defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm. I can't say his name,
But yeah,
That guy.
but he's got it cranked up, man. And I think Mike McDonald calls the defensive plays though. He's a defensive coach, so as we've seen a lot of offensive coaches do the same thing as when they become head coaches. That's how they've gotten there. They've gotten there through strong defense and a surprising offense that has really. It just feels like everyone's really doing the line seems to be really strong and come together solid and provides a lot of openings for the running backs and time for the quarterback. And you said, Sam Darnold was thrown well under duress. Man, he's got the history. He was on the Jets. Like all he did for 2 years was practice throwing under duress. Yeah. that was his
with the mirror look.
that was his welcome to the NFL. We're gonna train you how to throw, getting dragged to the ground every pass. But it's paid off. He's really grown into possibly a Super Bowl winning quarterback from what he used to be as a laughingstock. Even though he was number 1 overall, I think, when he came out. At least
No, he's 3rd round pick for the Jets.
Was he 3rd or 3rd overall? He was the first. He was
Yeah,
the 3rd overall. He was first round.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there was talent there, and maybe some guys just need to not get drafted by the Jets.
Amen to that.
But yeah, I never would have thought I would see Seattle going to the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season because we had the teams like either the Lions or the Eagles,
Oh yeah.
But coming out of their division, that was a very tough division. You had San Francisco who came out of nowhere because we thought after they got rid of everybody that they weren't going nowhere, but yet they still kept winning. The Rams, we knew after they went out early, they were fierce on trying to get back to the NFC Championship game and go to the Super Bowl. But Seattle, they just persevered. And Sam Darnold last season came from a 15-win regular season from Minnesota. And then comes to Seattle in the right timing is all you can say. It's just the right timing. gets another 15-win regular season and takes them with a great offense, just comparable to the Rams. It's Jackson Smith and Jigma and Cooper Kupp on the side. And you also had Rashid Shaheed in mid-season.
That's right.
But he's more with special teams right now. So, because they had the two-headed monster running game with Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. But see, Charbonnet's out right now, but I can't say the name of the backup right now. But he's kind of, is it Akers?
Or is he still out?
I'm not sure, but he's also kind of come in and helped that run game. But Kenneth Walker's always has obviously been getting most of the carries. And watching that NFC Championship game, I mean, he's shaking defenders left and right. And right now, Sam Darnold, yes, with the turnovers, but he's almost up there and, leading the league with touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And, with targets like Jackson Smith and Jigma, and then the tight end A.J. Barner, they were the key points on that offense that was moving the ball all season and helped them propel throughout the playoffs. And then let's not forget about the defense. I mean, that defense, they get after the quarterbacks, and a lot of times they could put pressure on the quarterback without blitzing the quarterback. And that's something you need to have a good defense. So right now, I feel that watching that defense over the playoffs, they get after the quarterback easily without having to blitz. You may have to blitz 1 or 2 times, but that defensive front just puts pressure on them offensive line. And right now, I do believe that they're going to get after that New England offensive line. And they got a weakness on the right side, I do believe. So I think because of that, Drake May's going to have a long game. It should be a good game, but it's going to lean more towards Seattle just taking control and controlling the line of scrimmage.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm impressed. I mean, Sam Darnold has finally found his footing.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed that of course, Jets. And we throw that the trash. So sorry, Jets fans, y'all, but for real. I mean, they couldn't. I mean, Aaron Rodgers couldn't do nothing. Man, there was a testament to how messed up they are down there,
Mm-hmm.
or Justin Fields. Let's see, and in Minnesota, I feel he kind of got the short end of the stick down there, and now he's found his home. He's found his footing. I mean, like I said, Cooper Kupp, he ain't no joke. Cooper Kupp,
Still solid.
Still has hands. And Jackson Smith and Jim Oldham showing out, just showing out. And then, like I said, that Seattle defense just hurts people. They're mean, nasty.
It's a mean bird.
Yeah.
Well, let's rewind the clock a little bit when they let go of, they let go of DK Metcalf,
Yes,
Tyler Lockett. And then, of course, getting rid of Russell Wilson, getting picked in. So Geno Smith, of course. So, and how's he working out there, Don, for you? How's out for the Raiders?
Woo!
Shout out to all the Raiders. Committed to excellence. All our Raider fans. Well,
he got him a Heisman winner. And
there you go. So look at it like this. Look at it like this. So now that we're here, so now, Seattle, we looked at it like, okay, they're not going to do nothing. They're going to be mediocre. And I can go back in the tape and go look. I think I had San Francisco and the Rams. I bet I had them kind of going.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Rams did held on. So shout out to the Rams fans. You guys did your part, but it's just that at the end, what has happened is that you got a Seattle team that found its identity right in the middle of the season. Look at Lawrence leaving the Dallas Cowboys, bringing a piece there. Cooper Kupp leaving the Rams because they wanted to focus on Puka Nacua.
Yep.
And then look, come to Seattle, turn that around. And then Walker, of course, staying healthy. That's the key, and that's one thing they don't talk about. And if they did, hey, more power to you. But here at Sportsfellas, I'm going to say it. With Walker staying healthy has helped Seattle to be in the game. I mean, unfortunate accidents that Zach Charbonnet had with that ACL injury. That's so unfortunate. But you got the next man up. That's how it goes. There's no excuse. So the pros in this is that what I'm looking into Seattle is that they're just an oil rig machine offensively and defensively. They are an aggressive Bird. I mean, I think this is the Legion of Boom 2.0, but the forefront. Now, people, let's go rewind again on the clock. Let's remember when they went to the Super Bowl for the first time, when it was when the 12th man was on the picture, especially with Marcus Trufant, that lockdown corner. I mean, they did give the Steelers a little bit of a hard time, but it's just Seattle happens to always show up in the Super Bowls at the darndest times. They just show up. And look at these Super Bowls. Number one seeds.
Yeah.
Their first Super Bowl, they were the number one seed.
Mhm.
When they won their Super Bowl, they were the number one seed. When they went back, they were the number one seed, and here, number one seed. So right now, I mean, they're one for three. So tomorrow, they could be, 2 for 4. So let's hopefully that's the magic there. So let's talk a little bit about the cons. So I'm gonna revert to you, Brett. What are one thing that kind of concerns you a little bit about Seattle?
The secondary. And okay, hear me out here. I noticed when I was watching that Ram when he was playing the Rams in the championship game, Matt Staff, he was having a field day with the DBs and them safeties. I mean, dropping some to Puka Nakua and dropping some to the cast name right now. But that's not important. But I mean, he was sitting there. Because it started slow at first, the first half, and all of a sudden, Matt just started going off. I mean, the game was going back and forth, but that's one of the things that I'm not gonna blank on his name right now. If Drake May can see that and be able to capitalize on that secondary and able to get those deep passes, how Matt Staff was going, it could be a pretty good back and forth game.
But yeah, I feel that based off what Brett was saying, that it would be the secondary that could be their weakness. Is if they're given too much time to throw the ball on those passing plays, that can be trouble for them. If that defensive line is not getting after Drake May and pressure him, that's going to hurt them. But normally they can get after the quarterback on a consistent basis. But there have been times where if that quarterback's given enough time, that leaves things wide open. And with Stephon Diggs and you got Hunter Henry, going over the middle. If you're not getting to Drake May fast enough and he's allowed to process fast enough to see that, that's going to be that's the only con that I feel that I see right now for Seattle. But right now, offensively, I don't see no cons because they got the great running game, got the receivers and the quarterback that can throw under tight pressure. It's just defensively right now that if they're not getting after that quarterback like they need to, like they've been getting to, it could be a long game for them because look at the Rams, how Puka Nakua was eating them up. And Devontae Adams is still, picking them apart. And then, so when Matt Stafford had time to throw against them, you see what the difference was in penalties. There were some few penalties that were key moments in the NFC Championship game.
What was the
that
name?
if it wasn't for that taunting call, that could have bit them in the butt. But fortunately for them, they had a good enough offense that can get them back down the field and score the touchdown and take that lead, which I feel that should be between. That's the cons that I feel that Seattle has.
Right. I see that, but also that's a division rival. That was the third time they played them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of differences. I think the Rams and the Patriots are almost apples and oranges with the way they go match up with Seattle. The Rams are one of the few teams that did get a win over Seattle throughout the year, and so they did match up well. And I don't think that New England has quite the firepower as the Rams, but I think that their weakness is going to be similar to that. If they cannot get after May, if he has time, Hunter Henry's going to find openings over the middle. The running backs there, Mondre Steuben was really key to getting some stuff in the flat and getting upfield some. I don't think. I mean, I was going to joke that Sam Darnold could have flashbacks again to his Jets days and when he was getting destroyed by Patriots at the time. Oh no, seeing ghosts from those guys.
I'm having flashbacks.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was the
What was
game
that
he
clip
did
that he said? He said about that clip about you
No, I
seeing
said-
ghosts.
Yeah, I think it was against the Patriots.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think he's going to head case it like that.
You better not.
That would be
That's
one
all
of the
that.
offensively. That's one of the few ways that I could say. I don't know that they could do a scheme that's really going to overwhelm him at this point. He's been so many places, seen so much now. He's a veteran quarterback who's been around the league. I don't know that they're going to scheme. I think that's been one of their successes this year is that he's seen so much of it and has now become very adaptable to all the defenses that get run throughout the league. And so I think a con would be if for some reason there's some new scheme or Vrabel will see something on that defensive side that can really confuse him. I don't see that happen. But that's the only way offensively I see anything going down. Defensively, I think it's if they can't put pressure, if they can't get into the backfield, they do have some weakness on the outside. Not much. I mean, those guys are still really good out there, but you can only leave a cornerback to guard for so long. I mean, the wide receiver, Stephon Diggs is going to get open. Like, he's a great wide receiver. Hunter Henry is going to get open. He's a really, really, really good tight end. Maybe he is a great. I don't want to say that because I think he played with
Shots booty as well.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful.
So
Yeah. Well, Seattle, they've had a good quarterback. He's been solid. Is he elite explosive? I don't know about that. I don't know if he's that type of explosive, but he's efficient. He can make things happen, and being able to just be efficient. If they can stay on top of the game, then and not have to catch up, I think that will change their momentum. Instead of trying to catch up, they're just playing their own field. In New England's, if they're going to start pushing too hard, too fast, trying to do too much and get out of their rhythm, I think Seattle's defense is just going to eat them up. And I think also Seattle will push them to move faster and try to get out of their rhythm. So it's going to be difficult for New England.
And what I'm going to say is that front four of Seattle, the front four of Seattle is going to be where it's going to start on the defensive side. These guys are going to go after Drake May. The moment that Drake May cannot stay steady on what he needs to do, the rest is irrelevant. So they're going to try to revert to the run game. It's just going to be a chess match. And so they're going to try to figure each other out. Now, offensively, as long as Sam Darnold does not go back to his Jets days or he forgets to play, he should be fine. One of the key games that I remember, you guys forgot, he played with the Carolina Panthers. Carolina was 3-0 for a little bit, then they kind of went down the hill, kind of like my stock portfolio. But that's a story. That's a story for another day. But here's the deal. Sam Darnold, congratulations to him for being where he's at. So I think he'll do just fine. Well, you guys, it's the moment of truth. We waited for this moment, and we are 24 hours away. And so this is it, and we need to know why. So I'm going to kick it off with you, Brett. Who are you taking to take the Vince Lombardi home? Is it going to be A, 7-time Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, or 2-time Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks? Tell me who you're going to pick and why.
Okay. Now, my heart says Patriots for Drake May because he's a Carolina guy.
okay.
That's what my heart
curious
says.
at first. I was like,
That's what my heart says. But
I get it now.
But the smart money says pick Seattle. And we're going to have to go with the smart money here. I mean, Drake, I love you. You, your older brother, national champions, Carolina. We the baddest. We bad. But okay, let me stop. I mean, it's just the perfect combination of, best balance on both sides of the ball, offense and defensive wise. And Drake May, this is going to be his first. This is furthest he's ever gotten. He's in his sophomore year. his first appearance at the biggest game of his career. Of course, he's going to have to shake off them jitters, and like I said, if that O-line can't get the job done, it's going to be a slaughter out there.
Okay, well, so what? How about the score?
How about the score? Okay. If it's anyway, I predicted it. I'd say 34, 31.
Oh, high scoring.
Nice.
Well, like I said, you know, it's gonna start slow. When I said last week, it's gonna start slow in the first half. It's probably gonna the pace is gonna be picked up after the second half, kind of like the Rams and when the Rams and the Seahawks game.
My pick, I'm straight up going Seattle. I'm not even beating around the bush. Not just because I don't like the Patriots, because of the tough rule back there.
Come on, man.
But,
Let's let that go.
yeah, I should, but I won't. But anyway, but like Brett said, they're a well-balanced team, offensively and defensively. And if you base it off how both teams took the path in the playoffs up to the Super Bowl, the New England Patriots offense gave up 5 sacks on average. And I guarantee you, if Seattle gets anywhere close to that many sacks, it's going to be a long game for them, because Drake May's not going to be able to recover from 5 sacks against that defense. And let alone, if they're going 3 and out frequently, Seattle's offense is going to take control and control the line of scrimmage. And most likely, the best way to beat them is control the line of scrimmage and keep the ball away from Drake May. Stephon Diggs may have some moments and great catches, but Seattle is going, they like them DBs, like they stick and go and get them. And they stick on them like glue. And I feel that Kenneth Walker, he's going to get a touchdown and rush for at least over 80 yards. And Jackson Smith and Jigma is going to at least get a touchdown and maybe at least 80 yards receiving. So right now, I feel with the balanced attack that Seattle has, both offensively and defensively, New England is going to face a team that can move the ball offensively compared to what they would face throughout the AFC. And that's going to be the determining factor that is going to help Seattle, get the second Super Bowl.
Okay, score.
I feel the score is going to be, it may start off slow in the first quarter because both defenses are going to, probably put their stamp on the game. But as I feel it's going to wrap up in the second quarter and go on and on. I do believe Seattle's going to win, let's say 35-20.
Oh, dang.
Interesting.
We're going to have some deja vu here in a second. I want to pick New England just so I can be different at this point, because I have a feeling that we're going to be somewhat similar here. Yeah, I can't. I mean, Seattle. So Seattle's 4.5-point favorites. I think they're actually the away team. Not that it matters. It's neutral site. Over under for those. One reason for asking scores. That's one of the reasons. Over under is actually 45.5. I would say Seattle, and I would actually take the under, because I have a feeling that, like you said, it's going to be a rough day for Drake May. I think it's going to be something more akin to a 30-10.
Good.
Or my original guess was going to be 34-20, which would still be over, I guess. That's why I said deja vu. But then he picked 35-20, so I had to be I don't want to say the exact same thing. So I'm saying, okay. I'll go 31-17.
Wow. Okay.
And I think some of those 31 points are going to be defensive. I think there's going to be a pick six or a fumble six, something along those
Special teams.
Maybe. I mean, there often is in Super Bowls, weirdly enough. There's special team. Just when you look at like how often it happens throughout the season, like you don't see it very often.
Yeah, but
Like for some reason, like Super Bowls, you almost always see some run back of some sort.
Yeah, and Seattle special teams,
So
no stop
it could be
either.
40-0.
The
Bears. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. So, what's yours, Nate? What's your prediction?
All right. I think it's going to be 27-23, somewhere around there. 20 with the Seattle win. There's reasons why. Definitely the stability that Sam Darnold brings to it, their ability to control the line. I don't think he's going to have too much time, too much extra pressure. He's got some abilities he's calm. He can manage stress. He's a cool guy in those situations. I don't think you're going to see over the top big plays, but he's going to do enough to keep the ball moving and keep the ball in their hands until they score, whether it's 3 or 6. They're going to move the ball and score efficiently when they have opportunities.
Right.
So
27-23. Yeah, I mean, if Seattle, it could go to New England. If it goes to New England, it's because they were able to manage enough pressure on the line of scrimmage to keep May safe from making over the top mistakes and not going too fast.
Well said, Nate. Wow. Yeah, that was good. That was good. All right. So this is it for Seattle. Seattle, to me, is the juggernaut going in this game. I feel that, yes, people are saying the payback, the revenge game, but remember, this is far apart. Nobody was really a part of that when all that happened. So it's new faces. And, low key, and I'm going to say it right now, shout out to all our Patriot fans. And I know very well Tom Brady is sitting back like, I hope they don't win. They know. Don't play me. Don't sit there and tell me, I don't got no dog in this fight. Whatever. And I know Bill Belichick sitting back in Chapel Hill right now. I hope they don't win either. We know.
Of the 2 offensive coordinators, Brady didn't hire McDaniels.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna say it like this to be short, sweet, and sincere. Seattle's gonna take it. I got them at. Check this out. I'm gonna say 38 to 24.
Okay.
I feel what's going to happen is that key takeaways. Drake May is going to fumble the ball. I feel there's going to be mistakes that are going to happen. And what's going to happen is I'm going to call it out right now. Stephon Diggs, he'll get a touchdown, but there's going to be anxiety going on. They're going to want the ball. And what's going to happen is
he going to yell at Drake May on the side?
I don't think he'll yell at him. I think it's Cardi. They're going to focus on Cardi B.
Every time he scored, they're like, oh, here she goes.
There she goes. There she wins. She's going to start doing her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm going to say as well that the MVP, I don't think it will be Sam Darnold. I'm just going to throw it out there. I mean, this is a real high game stake here. It's going to be, again, since Von Miller, it's going to be a defensive player that's going to win the Super Bowl MVP. I'm gonna say that. So
I can see that.
So
they got a good.
Let's just throw it out there. So I already called out my Seattle. Who are you going to take? Who do you think is going to win the MVP?
Jeez. I mean, I would say, obviously, I think if New England pulls it off, it's going to be May, and that's going to be my cut. There's no other way for them to achieve that. If he, I'll just say, I want May to win it, just because of the fact that would be awesome if they could overcome. I really don't care who wins. Personally, I don't have a stake in the game. I don't really love Seattle. I don't really love Seattle a little more than New England, possibly, but I'm happy for a good game. Like I said at the very beginning, I want it to be competitive. I want them both to go head to head, and whoever has the ball at the end wins. And let the cards fall where they are.
Well, we know that the Chief fans and Bronco fans are in Cancun. Yeah, so we're out there hanging out watching the Super Bowl. Who do you think is going to be the MVP, Chris?
MVP, quarterback of the winning team.
Easy.
That's a 99% chance of that.
Okay. No?
I think because the defense is going to focus so much on Jackson Smith and Jigma, even with their front, I do believe Kenneth Walker could possibly be the player of the game because they're going to lean heavily on the run game. He's going to get his touchdown.
He hits 150 yards.
I think he might do it because New England.
When's the last time a running back have won the MVP?
Well, it would have been.
Then Marshawn, if he
They would have given it to the
What would have been the last time? Would it be Terrell Davis?
I think Elway may have been in that game.
No, Elway did win when he won his second Super Bowl. It was Terrell Davis because he had it was Terrell. I want to say it's Terrell Davis because I can't think of any running back that has won an MVP.
Yeah, that's why.
We're gonna check, you guys. We're gonna check real quick.
But I do
I'm
think
looking
Kenneth Walker.
right now.
I think Kenneth Walker is going to take off on him because they're going to focus so much on Jackson Smith and Jigma and Cooper Kupp.
Well, don't forget Cooper Kupp is the Super Bowl MVP.
And it was right. Terrell Davis.
Oh,
There you
Broncos
go.
fan right
Sounded
there.
all right. Sounded right. Yeah.
So yeah,
My first jersey I bought.
So who you think gonna be
Hey, we got Christian
Who's the
Gonzalez
last
out
thing
there.
on the MVP? I mean, Seattle. It could go. It could go either way. I mean, it could be Donald and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, you got to pick.
I know. I got to pick. It could be Donald, Smith and Jigba. It could be Cooper Kupp again, or
Who you pick?
let's see.
If you're not right, bad things happen.
I think you want to.
I'm just kidding.
I think he wanted to be Cooper
That
Kupp.
would be sweet if it was Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
The way you've been talking about Cooper Kupp all this
I
podcast.
would really like to have Cooper Kupp win. If this is gonna be his last hurrah, let him get it.
Okay, that's fair. Now let's have a little bit of fun.
Mhm.
All right,
Uh-oh.
let's talk about the halftime show. All right, so we got Turning Point USA and Bad Bunny.
Oh Lord.
Nick, who's going to have more ratings, Bad Bunny or the Turning Point USA?
Man,
You gotta call
asking the wrong dude. I do not know much at all about Bad Bunny. I didn't even know. I wouldn't have been able to point him up in the lineup. That's how Chris knows this guy. He says he's so popular all around the world. He's popular here in the United States. He is. Obviously, if he's there, that's just not anything that I ever associate myself with.
Yeah.
I don't know what he does, what kind of music. I have no idea what he sings. I couldn't name one song.
Well, enlighten him, Chris. Okay,
I don't know
so
his music. I mean, I don't know. I know who he is as much as I know.
he's a funny comedian when he does his SNL skits.
Yeah,
And he
I've
was
seen
in
him-
Bullet
I've
Train
seen
with
him
Brad
on
Pitt.
SNL.
He was pretty good.
I've seen him do more acting than I've seen him do music.
Well, he's more. He's from Puerto Rico, and he sings reggaeton, and he's #1 download singer in the world. He won Album of the Year. So I mean, he sells out concerts.
Like Afghanistan, right?
There's a wait period in Kabul. He's probably going to Karachi or somewhere on the next one. But okay, who you got, Chris? You got
I think it's the Super Bowl.
Bad Bunny. Okay, Bad Bunny read it. Don.
I could care either less, either one, because I only knew about
I just think people won't turn the channel or go find wherever the other one's on at.
I thought most people might just turn it on just to figure out who the guy is.
Yeah.
I think that's what I think.
Because
it's
they're
the
in my
Super Bowl.
opinion,
If you want to learn Spanish, this is it. You guys, tomorrow is your
That's
chance.
the point, because they announced it way back when, so you get the publicity out there. So that made everybody point
It's
their
going to
attention
be
to it. So
ratings.
people are going to watch it. I
There's
could care
more
less.
Bad Bunny fans in the world than there are NFL fans.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
That's
crazy.
what it is.
Because look what happened with Taylor Swift and the Chiefs. She started dating Travis Kelce. Look how many.
And there's
people
way more Taylor Swift
That's
fans.
right. Look how it brought more views to football. So
Or his podcast.
more people are going to watch Bad
Taylor
Bunny.
Swift, you
just
would
because-
have
So I
just
feel
mentioned us.
Yeah.
he's made some comments that can be controversial or whatever you want to say. I could care less because he's not somebody
Every
that I listen
artist
to.
out there has something.
To be honest,
I mean,
I just want to watch the commercials. I don't care. This is not a halftime show I really care for, but
I'm trying to think the last time I actually watched the whole
yeah. So
halftime show. Anyway.
like when Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent and when it was in LA, they came out for the halftime show. I watched it because I knew who they were. Bad Bunny, don't know nothing about the man. Never listened to his music, so I really could care less. So it can either for me 50-50.
Oh, he's a wrestler too, by the way.
Yeah, he's a professional wrestler.
He's a wrestler.
So I can
Occasionally.
I won't care to watch it, but it's just something to pass the time until the third quarter starts.
Okay, yeah, I actually seen Bad Bunny wrestle for the WWE a couple times. The boy can go,
Okay.
especially when they did that. They did that one a pay-per-view show out in Puerto Rico. He was in a match with, I don't know if some of our fans know who Damian Priest is, because I watch wrestling sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, like Don said, I haven't listened to none of his music. It's not that not that I don't want to listen. No, it's just that I never really heard. I mean, I'm opening to listening to it, and it kind of like, okay, I'll listen. I'll take a listen to it, and I'll sit there. I'll forget about it. But I'm like, oh dang, I forgot to. But anyway, I think more people are going to tune in because think about it. I mean, why did the NFL vote to get Bad Bunny? Because you trying to expand the market.
It's expand the market.
Expand the market because you trying to get these people business. That's what I'm explaining.
Well, it's like what Chris said. The NFL was smart about this. They realized, hey, we get him in, we're going to draw views like I mean, I'm telling you, he's going to set a record. I think I'm going to call it like this. I'm not going to.
That's even more
Controversy.
With all due respect to the legend, well, we know Michael Jackson, one of the best halftime shows ever.
He was the first halftime show because the history behind that. In Living Color, the TV show, they did a halftime special. It turned away from the Super Bowl game. So the NFL was like, oh no, we got to have somebody to star in the Super Bowl because we don't want people to turn away from the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they got Michael Jackson that next year because there wasn't a halftime show before.
I know. Didn't Whitney Houston sing the national anthem?
Yeah,
best version ever.
Yes, it was.
So here's my opinion. So here's my take. Bad Bunny's gonna win it. I don't care about the whole politics. We don't get involved in all that. So that's the story.
Not politics.
Yeah. So
you can't throw politics out of here.
But if you're betting,
yes, I'll be that guy. I'll put $1 in ESPN bets.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I mean, this was great. Our first live show, and we're going to keep it going. I mean, we're going to talk about it as well when we do the college March Madness. We will do the NBA Finals. This is open. The draft. We're finally going to open up. And like I said, it's just the beginning. Guys. We are already going to get into the iTunes, the Spotify, Twitch. We're just going to open up all channels. And you guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for following us. It's great that we get away from the hard days of work, life in general, that we can just get together and talk sports and just hang out. You know what I'm saying? Just do our thing here. So, any shout outs before we go?
Of course, shout out to all our fans watching. Shout out to the cast and crew. Thank y'all, fellas. Eric in the back, man. We love you, brother. And as always, hi, mom and dad.
Hey, gotta get a shout out to all the Raider faithful and all the Jayhawk fans out there. Just appreciate the audience to listen to us and coming here with the fellas here to talk sports. And that's what coming together is. Talk sports, get away from the reality of everything going on in the world. Just get together and us fellas talking sports. That's what I love about this show.
Big shout out to Houday Nation and Buckeye Proud. Also, big shout out to Team USA. Go Olympics and bring home some medals.
All right. Yeah. Well, as the new guy, shout out to the new crew. Thank you for the invite and appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome.
It was fun. Look forward to it, and maybe we get in some travel itinerary discussions, world news and information other than sports. I know you guys are all interested in some other things too. You're opening up opportunities for others to listen and what's engaging. Look forward to support wherever.
Well, we're going to dive in on that, of course, because the channels are we're just growing, and of course, we're going to be open to that. So stay tuned with Nick. We will get to you guys more on that. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, again, thank you guys for showing the love and support throughout the years. I mean, each one of you, thank you so much. And also, I want to say that, keep on doing what you're doing, pursue your endeavors. This is something that I still remember. We started just talking about it, and now that we're finally here, and this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning, you guys, and we're just going to keep expanding. So until then, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next show. We're out.
Peace.